Hi, I'm Greg Heffley. Tomorrow I gotta start my first day of AP Calc, and I don't know what to do. I'm dreading it. I don't understand any of the rules. I don't understand anything. My older brother Roderick, he took the class, but I don't know if he can help me. Well, since tomorrow's the first day, hope for the best.
Wow, I've never seen students so excited for school. Stand up. What are your names?
Patty Farrell, 2 R's, 2 L's.
Greg Heffley.
You're not related to Roderick Heffley, are you?
He's my brother.
Go sit in that desk over there. I'm gonna keep my eye on you, Heffley.
I don't understand it. It was my first day of Calc. Mr. Sino, he yelled at me. Something, he doesn't like that. I have the last name Heffley and Roderick's my brother. I don't know what to do. If only someone could tell me the Calc rules.
You better.
34?
Hey, Greg, what'd you get?
34?
Greg, I got 100, Greg. You're stupid.
That calc test was so hard. I got like a 34, bro.
34, bro?
34.
How do you get a 34? Shut up, bro.
Wait, who's that? Roderick?
My mom told me to drive you home.
Alright. Can you unlock the door? My bad.
So you guys, how was your Calc final?
It wasn't a final, it was just a test, but it was hard. You know what I'm saying?
You told us that we were losers and we can't do nothing right. You said we'd never make it, but just look at us tonight.
Greg? He keeps complaining to me about something like Calc AB or something like that. I don't even know what he's saying. I'm in pre-Calc, man.
Dude, Calc AB, it's so hard for me, man.
I'm in pre-Calc, bro.
Oh, alright, Raleigh.
Dude, what is that?
What is that?
Stop! Good God, man. You almost got the Calc BC touch.
What's that?
My brother took Calc BC a couple years ago. He was never the same after that.
Mom told me to give you some tips on Calc AB. Don't go to the bathroom. Don't talk when Mr. Orsino is talking. Don't forget to take the derivative of the inside and outside function for chain rule. Don't forget to add the two parts together for product rule. Don't forget to subtract the two parts in the numerator for quotient rule. And don't forget to square the denominator in quotient rule. Rule number 1. This is how you do the product rule.
The first derivative rule you'll need to know is product rule. Product rule is used when you're trying to find the derivative of the product of two functions. So the formula for a product rule looks like this. D over dx of f of x times g of x equals f prime of x times g of x plus f of x times g prime of x. Now, here's a sample problem that involves the multiplication of two functions. The first function here, f of x, is represented by 6x cubed. The second function, g of x, is represented by sin x. Now, according to the product rule formula, the first thing we need to do is find the derivative of f of x. What we would do is bring 3 to the front, so we would have 18, and then drop the value of the exponent by 1. So if you put that all together, you'd have 18x squared times g of x, which is just sin x, plus f of x, which is 6x cubed, times derivative of g of x, which is just cosine x. And that is how you would use the product rule on a problem.
Rule number 2. This is how you do the chain rule.
Another important derivative rule is the chain rule. Chain rule is used when you're trying to find the derivative of a composite function. The formula for chain rule looks like this. D over dx of f of g of x equals f prime of g of x times g prime of x. So here's a simple problem that requires you to use the chain rule. So first you would have to identify your f of x and g of x. So in this case, f of x is your outer function, so it would be ln x, and g of x is your inner function, so it would be 9x minus x squared. Now the first step is to find f prime of g of x. So to find that, you would have to think about what the derivative of f of x would be, but instead of writing x, you would simply write g of x. So the derivative of ln x is 1 over x, so you would write 1 over g of x instead of 1 over x. So 1 over 9x minus x squared. And then you would multiply that by g prime of x, so that would just be 9 minus 2x, because the derivative of 9x is 9, and the derivative of x squared is 2x. Next step would be to put this all together, so you would have 9 minus 2x over 9x minus x squared. And this would be your final answer for the derivative of ln of 9x minus x squared. The next problem here requires you to use both product rule and chain rule. So you're going to first treat this problem like a product rule problem. So the first step is always going to be to identify f of x and g of x. So f of x equals 3x to the fourth, and g of x equals e to 3x plus 4. Now, the first step of the product rule is to find f prime of x. So in this case, f prime of x would be 12x cubed, and then multiply that by g of x, it would be e to 3x plus 4. Then you add this to f of x, so you have 3x to the fourth, and then you have to multiply it by the derivative of g of x. The derivative of g of x is going to be the derivative of the outside function at the inner function, and then the derivative of the inner function. So the derivative of the outer function would just be e to the 3x plus 1. And that's because the derivative of e to the x is just e to the x, so instead of writing x, you have to write the inner function. Then you're going to multiply this by the derivative of the inner function. So the derivative of 3x plus 1 is just 3. Now you're going to put this all together. So you would have 12x cubed times e to the 3x plus 1 plus 9x to the fourth times e to 3x plus 1. And that's how you would solve a problem that involves both product rule and chain rule.
Rule number 3. This is how you do the quotient rule.
The last derivative rule we'll be going over is the quotient rule. Quotient rule looks like this. D over dx of f of x over g of x equals f prime of x times g of x minus f of x times g prime of x over g of x squared. Now, here's a sample problem where you would need to use quotient rule to find the derivative. So the first thing to do is identify your f of x and g of x. So f of x would just be the numerator, so it would be e to the x, and g of x would be the denominator, which is 5 minus 3x. Now the first step is to take the derivative of f of x. So the derivative of f of x is just going to be e to the x, and multiply that with g of x, which is just 5 minus 3x. Then make sure you put in a negative, and then you're going to take f of x, which is just e to the x, and then the derivative of g of x, which is just negative 3. Now you're going to put all of that over g of x squared, so 5 minus 3x squared. The next step would be to distribute the e to the x. So you would get 5e to the x minus 3e to the x times x plus 3e to the x. Put that over 5 minus 3x squared. And you do not have to simplify the denominator. Now combine like terms, so you should get 8e to the x minus 3x e to the x over 5 minus 3x squared. And that's how you would find the derivative of e to the x over 5 minus 3x using quotient rule. 9x minus x squared. And that would be the derivative.
Wow, I understand this video so well. Thanks, Roderick. Now I can finally go to sleep, knowing the calc rules.
2 weeks later.
Good job. Cool. Hey, Greg, what'd you get?
What'd you get first?
I got a 95.
I got a 95.1. Get out of here.
You know, Calc AB wasn't that bad. I got a 94 on my final. I got a 5 on the AP exam. And it's all because I learned the Calc rules. You know what? I think Calc rules.